All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about some more silliness out of Victor Conte, who is now, I do believe, a member of Terence Crawford's camp, about Errol Spence Jr., the PBC, and them hiding VADA drug tests. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. We are in the 147-pound division again today. We have a really good fight coming up this weekend. I think maybe the best fight of the year that's actually at 130 pounds, or one of the best fights of the year that is going to be at 130 pounds between Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson. But you know, the drama pops up, so we're still going to address some stuff that people keep putting in my DMs. I keep seeing out on the internet. And this is the topic of Errol Spence Jr., VADA testing, and Terence Crawford and Victor Conte. But before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber or a recent subscriber to the channel, thank you very much for supporting the channel. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, if you're not a supporter, I invite you to subscribe to the channel by hitting the bell icon so that you can, and hit that bell icon so that you can be notified of when we release our videos, which we do on a daily basis. We have live streams on a daily basis, so there's a lot of content, a lot of boxing conversations to be had. All right, so let's do this. Victor Conte, who runs an organization called SNAC, I'm not sure if he owns it or he works for it or whatever, but he's at the very least a spokesman for an organization called SNAC, which is a supplement, a nutritional supplement company, and they work very closely with boxers. So you have Devin Haney is a SNAC athlete, Demetrius Andrade is a SNAC athlete, Jerron Ennis is a SNAC athlete, and recently Terence Bud Crawford became a SNAC athlete. Now, I assume because of this new relationship that Victor Conte has with him. Oh, also, Victor Conte is also somebody that has admitted that he provided performance-enhancing drugs to, I believe they were track athletes in the I think that was in the 1990s. Marion Jones was one of the people that was associated with that, right? So we know the history of Victor Conte. So Victor Conte also, you know, as his association with SNAC, he also talks about a lot of the performance and people that he thinks may be on performance enhancing drugs who are in boxing right now. So he, and I'm telling you right now, has completely made up this notion that the PBC does not have their fighters signed up for the voluntary anti-doping agency's testing program, and specifically talking about Errol Spence Jr. and how Errol Spence Jr. Well, Yordenis Ugas, it looked like he actually believed that Yordenis Ugas was using performance enhancing drugs, if I recall correctly, and that, you know, it was, and that Errol Spence Jr. was a concern or was suspect of it. But most of the accusations roll around the fact that his claim, because it's not a fact, that they did not do VADA testing, or they were not publicizing their VADA testing for the Errol Spence Jr. Yordenis Ugas fights or before that, which is absolutely not true. In fact, Keith Eidick, who I do believe writes for Boxing Scene, actually published on his Twitter page the note that he received when it was verified with him that Yordenis Ugas and Errol Spence Jr. were enrolled in the full program for the VADA anti-doping agency, completely exonerating of their accusations. And to boot, Victor Conte most definitely saw it because Keith Eidick tagged him or added him. I'm not sure what you call it on Twitter, but he put the @Victor Conte or whatever, SNAC, whatever his particular handle was, and went back and forth with him on that and said, this is absolutely silly. And what Keith Eidick said was, in response to, why didn't you, something about why didn't he publish, information about the test not being there? And he was like, he's like, there was no reason to say that it wasn't, because it was. We confirmed with VADA that they were taking VADA anti-doping that they were enrolled with VADA anti-doping agency. So what's the issue, right? Now, what do I think the issue is? I think the issue is them trying to Victor Conte trying to keep his name, in the forefront and trying to cause a stir about it, because there is absolutely no reason for you to believe that Errol Spence Jr. is not being tested by VADA, that your Danis Ugas was not tested by VADA. If Keith Eide can reach out and make a request to know that from VADA, why can't Victor Conte do the same thing? However, it's a lot of salaciousness that go on in the accusation of people and what they're doing. So Victor Conte is saying, that you won't be able to slip by anything by me when when Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford's fighting. I don't know if Victor Conte is trying to get into Terence Crawford's head and make Terence Crawford feel like, yeah, there's something to worry about here with Errol Spence Jr. and so you need to pay me fees and work with us so we make sure that you don't get cheated. But I think it's ridiculous, man. However, I'm not at the same time, I'm not going to say that there are not performance enhancing drugs in boxing, and a lot of people that are out there that are using them that are not getting caught. However, if you're going to be out there in public talking about them, they should have at least tested positive for performance enhancing drugs, unless it's something where, it's just blatantly obvious that, there may be something going on. Like maybe a guy that is down at, is at 122 pounds and he goes all the way up to 147 pounds and he puts on, 20 pounds of muscle and, and his endurance continues to go up and go up and go up, right? That I would say, okay, man, that's a reason to suspect him. However, to say that there isn't drug testing in any particular fight, that's just a matter of you going to do your research and seeing whether or not those guys were actually testing or not. And the lame excuse that those guys gave for why they believed it, to me, was just, it was absolutely ridiculous. To say that, the reason we know that he didn't test is because they didn't put it on their website. That website is not their human resources department, and they communicate that stuff through letters directly to the fighters. Thank you and you for participating in the VADA program. They've actually put that on there. They put that up on their Twitter. You've seen it published before. But just because a piece of information is not up on their website doesn't mean they don't have the website. They don't have the information. You have situations where like the WBC rankings have not been posted for like a month. That doesn't mean after their convention they didn't actually come up with the rankings and have the rankings themselves. It just means that they didn't put it up there yet. But anyway, I just think that this is just absolutely silly. To be putting this on that man's name, to put that on that man's name when you don't have any real proof or not just proof. I don't even think you have a real reason to suspect that he is any more than you would suspect any fighter, But anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.